My name is Lynn. I have two boys with autism. I have Ben, who's now 14, and I have Jacob, who's 12. Ben has Chester, who's a beautiful chocolate lab, and he's his autism assistance dog. Ben was 3.5 when we got the diagnosis. His receptive language was very, very poor, and trying to tell us what he needed was a non-runner altogether. So that led to terrible frustrations for Ben, which led to meltdowns. I know now that everything stemmed from the anxiety he was feeling. We had to split up as a family because Ben was unable to function in shops, in crowded areas, in places that you'd have to go. We never went for groceries together. We didn't go to parks. There was loads of places we didn't go. I would say we were on the waiting list about 4 years at the time. And we went away. Michael and I went down to Mallow for the 3 days to get Chester and to learn all the things that go with it. And Ben was home with my older daughter, and we were getting messages of phone calls and everything, and that he could, well, he's bed sleeper anyway, but he was so excited. He was literally fizzing. And that day, when we arrived back, he was standing in the garden with a big sign in his hands to welcome Chester. It was brilliant. And everything changed. Everything changed, you know, bit by bit. There was huge initial changes, and then little bit by little bit you see extra changes and extra changes. It was fabulous. It was brilliant. You know, almost immediately afterwards, once Ben had Chester, if Ben started to feel anxious, he'd be rubbing Chester's ear, which brings down the anxiety, so it did that. So it reduced the behaviours. Now, there was also the difficulty at the time when Ben was young that Ben, if he saw something across the other side of the road, he'd be gone. Ben was what we'd call a bolter. But because he was then anchored to Chester, that didn't happen. And as the years went by, Chester, I suppose, taught Ben how to walk safely from one place to another. It cut down the meltdowns, it cut down the people watching you, because if anything, if your child did anything, sometimes they stim verbally and they're quite loud, and really it's just to block out everything else that's going on. People don't look anymore, you know, or they might look and they'll smile. So it made a huge difference. It made a huge difference to the family, it made a huge difference to Ben, and I think in the very beginning, I would have always said the biggest difference was it gave him a friend. He had a friend. You know, Chester was his pal, and that was it. We have him 5 years in about 2 weeks' time. It's actually very hard to imagine what life would be like now, you know, without him. It's very, very difficult for me to even think how it might be. Because I'd be stuck back there. I don't know how we would have moved forward without him.